The following program is the work of the broadcast students of the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland which were produced over the last week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their instructors.
Coming up on BCIT Magazine, environmental activists say no to Kinder Morgan's expansion.
The film industry pushes forward despite new tax cuts.
And a Vancouver author uses her passion to fuel her writing.
Hello and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Johnny Smart.
And I'm Nick Arthur.
Kinder Morgan activists are set to take over the Burnaby terminal to break free from fossil fuels. Our Coe Taylor has more on how residents say the National Energy Board has not consulted properly to them.
Hundreds of protesters will take to the water and land this Saturday to protest Kinder Morgan's proposed expansion project. One organizer says people are frustrated with the public consultation process.
Some people have actually intervened, but some people have chosen not to intervene as well because of essentially they think that it's a flawed process because there has been a promise by the Trudeau government to overhaul the NEB system in regards to looking at pipeline infrastructure like the Kinder Morgan pipeline. So we have yet to really see what's happening.
Kinder Morgan is asking to twin its existing pipeline, increasing the amount of takers in Burrard Inlet fourfold. Some longtime residents believe the pipeline expansion will not be good for the area.
This pipeline went in so long ago. It's something that we can live with the way it is now, but the expansion is too big, in my opinion, that it shouldn't be going through the city, that it's not a good thing for the inlet.
Massimo says activists are ready to face arrest this Saturday.
People are willing to go to that extreme because they really do not want to see this pipeline being built because it just exacerbates the issues of climate change. It just exacerbates the issues of violation of Indigenous rights along the pipeline, but also into the tar sands where I'm from.
Massimo says people are left to see if Justin Trudeau and the Liberals will take steps to reduce the country's dependency of fossil fuels. The National Energy Board will send their recommendations to the federal government by May 20th. Coe Taylor in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
We now go live to Coe Taylor, who has more on this weekend's event. Coe, what kind of preparation have the activists done before Saturday's event?
So everyone involved in Saturday's event has had to attend at least one of two mandatory training sessions, and this gives everyone the opportunity to be acquainted with the route across Burrard Inlet, to make sure everyone has the proper equipment, and to also make sure that the ones that are going to be paddling have the right skills to make it across the inlet.
And what route will activists take during the Break Free from Fossil Fuels event?
So everyone attending the event on the water will start at Kate's Park on the North Shore at 10 a.m. They will gather and will head out together and make it their way to the marine terminal at the Kinder Morgan facility. Everyone that will be marching on land through the streets of Burnaby will start at Westridge Park and then make their way to the gates of Kinder Morgan, and their march begins at 11 a.m. Back to you, Nick.
A local mayor sat down with seniors in the community who may be unable to get out to City Council. As Robin Crawford tells us, sitting down in an informal setting may be the push seniors need to participate in their community.
Out of the ground, right? Like you look at all of our condos.
These seniors at Wilson Center have a special guest today, as Port Coquitlam Mayor Greg Moore sits down for coffee with them to discuss pressing issues on their own turf.
That room right there and that room hardly gets used.
These informal meetings sparked when the mayor realized that getting to City Council might be harder for older members of the community.
You know what, I think partially with seniors, some have mobility issues, so it's harder to get to City Hall or to where I am, and it's really easy for me to come and chat with them.
And here at the City Council chambers, seniors may be too nervous to speak their minds. Seniors like Neil Da Silva took this opportunity to talk to the mayor about the new recreation complex that will be built in Poco.
Some of the older seniors particularly are kind of concerned that they may lose some of the facilities and features that they had. So what we want to do is express, ask questions from the mayor and also express our issues and concerns. And
this informal setting and a warm cup of joe provides a perfect opportunity to talk about issues that matter most to them.
Formal settings generally tend to be very stiff and very formal, and lots of times people are not as free with their opinions because they have to be very reserved and guarded about what they say or don't say. You have to be very politically correct.
Moore offers this event every second Monday at Wilson Center in the Poco Recreation Complex. Robin Crawford for BCIT Magazine.
No, not in your head, that's too close.
The BC government has established new tax provisions on film production. But one member of the industry believes there is no slowing down the unstoppable force of Hollywood North. Jason Croker has more.
The success of movies filmed largely in BC, such as Deadpool and others, Vancouver has become a hotbed for the movie industry.
You may be wondering why the red suit.
It's been absolutely phenomenal. The big features that have recognized Vancouver for its beauty and its diverse climate and the skilled labor.
Gazzola has been working in the movie industry for nearly 20 years, working as a prep costumer. She's worked on TV shows such as Smallville and Flash, and most recently on War of the Planet of the Apes. She has seen the industry grow from a handful of films in 1997 to fully booked studios looking for workers.
It used to be a $100 fee, even at the union, to put in your application. Now they're searching everywhere to get as many people as they can to work in film.
The BC government has recently cut film incentives by 5%. Still, Gazzola does not think this will slow down the booming industry.
All the studios are booked solid. There's different buildings in the city that are empty that they've occupied in downtown core. There's more and more skilled people coming here.
Some labor market experts believe there is a lot of opportunity for young people looking to break into the movie industry.
Right now is the best time for young people to get accredited, certified, educated. Like if there's a 4-year education or apprenticeship attached to a person's job, this is the ideal time for people to get into that.
Gazzola is nearing the end of her career, and she sees the younger generation having a bright future in film production.
I think it's a fabulous industry for young people that are looking to do something different other than an office job or whatever, interested in the arts, interested in being creative.
There are currently 28 movies and TV shows filming in Vancouver, meaning the industry is showing no signs of slowing down. Jason Croker in Richmond for BCIT Magazine.
The nickname Hollywood North is certainly well-deserved. This summer, Supergirl, Arrow, and The Flash, as well as a number of big blockbuster films, will be filmed in the city. This will be the busiest summer the city has ever had for filming.
Coming up after the break, a local cafe is taking sustainability to the next level.
And a local gymnast fights for her dreams to come true.
I chose BCIT because I know that all the programs are very hands-on. We have our own radio station, like it's one of the best programs that I've ever heard of.
I am starting a job on Monday, so confidence is high.
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be this fun.
A defining moment for me was when I finished my first internship and got lots of really great feedback from industry professionals.
I would have never imagined I'd be walking into the floors of TSN and thinking, I'm not a student anymore, I'm here to work.
I will be starting a job with an investigative news program in Toronto, and I'm really excited to see that grow into what will become, hopefully, my dream job.
BCIT Broadcast and Online Journalism, putting you to work.
Ernest Hemingway once wrote that a writer should write one true sentence and make it the truest you know. As Jacob Hall explains, one Vancouver author lives her life by that motto.
Jenny's story has been writing true sentences for years. At only 23, she is a best-selling author and graphic designer. Jenny also has autism.
No more. He went back to Mexico, right?
Jenny's mom, Janet Walmsley, still remembers receiving the diagnosis when Jenny was only 3.
She had basically told me that Jenny's not going to talk very well. She's not going to do well in school. She is never going to get married. She's never going to work in a bank. And she went on and on and on to the point where I started to tune her out. And I just remember being very nice and thanking her. But when I walked out, I said, that's not going to happen.
Walmsley's initial reaction was right. Her daughter has become a best-selling author. Story's book, Dysomnia, has sold 1,500 copies. She believes that these books can act as a positive example of autism.
It's nice to help inspire people and say, you can do this. Don't let people tell you what you cannot. It's nice to know that I can help, if it helps them, that I can be like an example to help them and keep going for the good and the bad.
For Story, she is thankful that her mother didn't give up on her and allowed her to be creative and expressive.
Even though I do work hard to make myself better, without her support and love and believe in me, I probably wouldn't be where I am today without her.
For Walmsley, the teaching has been a two-way street.
She's an inspiration to me, and she's taught me patience. And I've always thought I was a patient person, but she's taught me patience, she's taught me love, she's taught me calmness.
Walmsley is an author in her own right and finds inspiration in her daughter's achievements.
Story is not written until the author writes it, and Jenny is a great writer.
Story hopes to publish her second book. She's also currently writing the third book in her trilogy. Jacob Hall in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
A group of women have found a new way to make implants for breast cancer survivors. Nicole Chu has more on this inexpensive alternative.
Hundreds of knitted breast prostheses pile up as these ladies search for women who have undergone mastectomies. Knitted knockers are a lightweight alternative to the traditional breast prosthesis.
Ordinary prostheses that are made up are very heavy and hot and uncomfortable to wear, but ladies find these much more comfortable, more agreeable, and they're completely washable. They can just tuck them inside an ordinary bra.
These knitters wanted to use their knitting skills for a good cause, but have had troubles finding women in need of a pair.
Actually, more people want to knit, which we'd like to have, but we have more knitters than we have people who are asking for them. So we really don't need more knitters at this point. We need the ladies who need them to get in touch with us.
One knitter is a survivor and says the knitted knockers provide a simple solution for those who do not want to go under the knife.
A lot of older women do want something, and they don't want to go through reconstruction. Younger women do.
Thelma's done a little of that too.
The knitted prostheses come in many different sizes to accommodate the individual. Cup sizes range from A to E.
Some are tiny and some are not tiny.
In the meantime, the ladies continue to knit and urge friends and families to spread the word about their knitted knockers. Nicole Chu in White Rock for BCIT Magazine.
Our reporter Nicole Chu joins us live. Nicole, what is the next step for these ladies?
They really want to get a website up and running to simplify the process for women wanting knitting knockers. And with the creation of the website, they're hoping people will be able to share their link on social media platforms to get the word out. They just really want to get the product out there for the women who need it.
And is there any way others can help the ladies of Knitted Knockers?
As I mentioned earlier, they have more than enough knitters, and they do provide the breast prosthesis free of charge. So they are open to donations to cover the cost of the special yarn which they use. And if you or someone that you know would like to request a pair, please send them an email. Back to you.
A local yoga studio has joined the fight to stop the federal government from continuing with the Northern Gateway Pipeline and Tanker project. As Megan Friesen explains, the studio plans to raise money to support Indigenous people as they take their concerns to court.
Inhale, stretch your arms out and up.
Moksha Yoga Studio set a goal to raise $10,000 for a campaign called Pull Together, which supports First Nation lawsuits.
It's our opinion, along with that of the experts, that First Nations battles in court are going to be the primary way that Canada works to stop climate change.
For the month of April, Moksha has donated all the proceeds from their weekly yoga workshops and karma classes, as well as hosted a silent auction to raise proceeds.
I have 2 kids, and I'm very concerned about what kind of future they're going to have.
Pull Together participants want to stop pipeline and tanker projects from taking over Indigenous peoples' unceded land.
I think that we need to, quickly transition off of fossil fuels and pay attention to the impacts that that's having.
Matthias is familiar with the fight. On November 27, 2014, he was arrested for protesting the Kinder Morgan pipeline expansion. He says it was that moment that helped fuel his passion for Pull Together.
That action really solidified for me the importance of standing up for our rights as people. In countries all around the world, people undergo far more difficulty when being arrested.
Moksha was able to raise over $7,000 for Pull Together, showing that yoga and activism can go hand in hand. Megan Friesen in Burnaby, BCIT Magazine.
An SFU professor has opened a small cafe that doesn't produce any waste while serving a Vancouver neighborhood. Our reporter Alexandra Lamb shows us how she is able to make this possible.
For Lisa Papania, her business is all about giving back to her community in a positive way. She opened the Loopy Cafe just over a year ago. It's the first one in Vancouver dedicated to producing zero waste while serving organic vegetarian food. They make it possible by sourcing their products from companies that are willing to refill their containers. That way, no waste is produced in the shipping process.
We have made decisions, quite hard decisions, about who to work with and who not to work with based on how they feel about dealing with their waste.
They also use ingredients grocery stores discard because of aesthetic imperfections. And starting 1 hour before they close, all food is free. Anything left at closing time is donated to people in need. Right now, a small business manager is helping Lisa apply for nonprofit organization status, but they've hit some snags along the way.
Well, I just picked up the paperwork. She was denied being nonprofit. It's going to take me a week to go through this just to figure out why they don't like it, the application. But yeah, we're going to pursue it, my wife and I. We have a company, we look after small businesses.
The primary focus of ours was always doing that community connection bit, and we got the feedback from Canada Revenue Agency saying that we're doing too many things and it's difficult to separate what it is that we're doing. It's impossible to see how we would have an environmental impact if we didn't do the social stuff.
Together, they plan on fighting until they earn the status so they can better serve their community and maybe open more locations one day. Alexandra Lamb in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Visit loopycafe.com to find out more information on the No Waste Cafe.
Coming up after the break, a trial bike champion helps children on his way to the upcoming World Championships.
And SFU's hockey team is ready to make the transition into playing stiffer competition.
The most rewarding thing for me has been the relationships I developed in the program, both with instructors and classmates.
My sense of confidence has never been higher. I mean, this program's offered great opportunities to be in real world, real industry situations, and being in those moments and knowing I can contribute, I can do this.
It's exciting to be in this industry and to meet lots of great people and to make amazing friends.
BCIT Broadcast and Online Journalism, realizing your potential.
Standby graphics, ready camera one.
If you want to experience the fast-paced world of news,
today on BCIT Magazine, striking,
make magic on a movie set,
frame,
and action,
or bring your creative ideas to life, BCIT's hands-on training will get you started. BCIT Television and Video Production. Your possibilities start here.
A promising young gymnast who has been selected to represent Canada at 2 international competitions needs help to pay for her trip. Aziz Hajeri has more.
She may only be 12 years old, but that did not stop Polly Christian from becoming a rhythmic gymnastics champion. Holder of 22 trophies, 175 medals, including 7 BC championships, Polly has been selected to represent Canada at 2 international competitions this summer in Bulgaria and Spain. The only problem is she can't afford the trip. Polly's mother, Ala, has recently started a fundraiser on GoFundMe. She has been training Polly since she was 4.
When I was born, she tested my flexibility, so I guess that's one way to see if I was a gymnast.
When Polly started to show signs of promise, Ala understood it was time to let someone else take her to the next level.
You cannot coach your own daughter. You can, physically you can, but it's not that easy. So we decided that I'm mommy, I can kiss her, I can give her a little bit of encouragement, but she has to be coached by another person.
Unconditional support from parents is important, but hard work and determination are keys to become a champion.
My biggest dream is to become an Olympian in 2020 in Tokyo. I train 24 hours a week, and most of the time we have a special warm-up, and then after the special warm-up we start our routines, and then we do some conditioning at the end.
Polly will need $6,000 to pay for her trip. She raised almost $3,000 and hoped to collect more before competition starts on May 24.
It's very expensive, but you cannot measure money-wise experience, motivation that she can get from that event, and chance to be seen by the top coaches and judges in the world.
For now, Polly's main focus is on her next competition. However, she always keeps in mind her dream of representing Canada at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Aziz Hajeri in North Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Simon Fraser University's hockey program could go through some big changes in the next couple of years. As Justice Doucette reports, the school is exploring the option of joining the NCAA, which is the top-ranked North American college sports league.
The ice at the Bill Copeland Sports Center is out, but SFU forward Matthew Barry LaMontagne is still working on his game. He, along with the rest of his team, are excited about the school looking into the possibility of jumping to the NCAA Division I.
It was huge, really exciting, obviously for us, the guys on the team. You know, my first or second year, we had talks about it, trying to make a push for NCAA, but it would have been 4 or 5 years down the road. So to have her come in and publish that and, like you said, make it a priority was pretty exciting for all of us.
This article, posted to the SFU website, written by Steve Frost, states that athletic director Teresa Hansen hired a consulting firm to explore the business model for NCAA hockey at SFU. Mark Coletta, the head coach of the team, believes that the players are ready to make the jump if it happens.
For the last 6 years, or 5 years anyways, we've played teams from Providence to North Dakota to Holy Cross to Sacred Heart, and we've competed very well. So I think we're ready from a competitive standpoint, and when we do make that jump, if it does ever happen, we'll be prepared.
Breakaway pass for Yan Kalashnikov, in all alone, scores!
This year, SFU finished second in BCIHL standings, winning 16 of their 24 games. They also played exhibition matches against Northeastern and Providence, both of which are ranked in the NCAA's top 15 out of 60 teams. Barry LaMontagne says this offseason has a bit of a different feel to it.
I think it's a little extra motivation just because, the possibility of having some extra eyes on the program come next year. Obviously next year is going to be a huge year for our program.
The results of the report are expected to be known by the start of next season. Justice Doucette in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
One of the top trial riders in the world is helping coach kids on the basics of riding right here in his own backyard. Nick Arthur met up with the talented rider to find out more about the sport and why he wants to share his knowledge with others.
Jeff Anderson is the reigning North American trial riding champion. When he isn't jumping out of rocks or out of trees, you can find him coaching kids through the Cycling BC's iRide program. The Coquitlam native is one of the best trial riders in the world, but it's a sport many are unfamiliar with.
Is basically obstacle riding on a bicycle. It's you basically take anything you can find, like a rock or a log, and you just see if you can ride over it.
Ben Chaddock from Cycling BC's iRide program loves the enthusiasm and the experience that Anderson brings to the team.
Whenever he's out there assistant coaching, he's always a great role model, and he can really explain how to do the skills with simple terminology, and that's what the kids need, because he's been there and he's done that, and now he's giving back to the community.
The iRide program brings professional riders like Anderson into local schools to help coach kids on the fundamentals of bike riding.
And gives kids a chance to learn how to ride a bike or even just improve their skills on a bike. We bring bikes out and we let a full class of kids ride bikes. We provide helmets and we just basically teach them basic riding skills.
Anderson currently has a GoFundMe page to raise money for the upcoming World Bike Trial Championships.
It's, because bike trials is not an Olympic sport, Cycling Canada does not fund me and I cannot receive funding. However, Cycling BC has given me some funds.
The World Championships begin on May 21st in Poland, where Anderson hopes to top his previous finish of 11th place. Nick Arthur in Vancouver for BCIT Mag.
After April's record-breaking temperatures, many Vancouver residents were hoping for some relief from the heat. However, May is expected to be even hotter and drier. As these conditions continue, please remember that water restrictions will be in effect this weekend.
Also effective tomorrow, most open fires will be banned on Vancouver Island, the Lower Mainland, and all the way up to Sunshine Coast.
If you need more information, please visit our website at www.bcit-broadcast.com or www.bcitbroadcastnews.ca. I'm Johnny Smart.
And I'm Nick Arthur. That's all for today's BCIT Magazine. Thanks for watching. We now leave you with more from Polly Christian dancing in her home studio.